guys, we're kicking it again, and I'm with an incredible actress, writer, composer, entrepreneur, comedian, you name it, she does it, and she's just an awesome person. This is Erin Muir.
Hi everybody, it's so great to be here with PhiL.
Yeah, and I just, she's bi-coastal and everything, you're doing some stuff in New York, you're doing things in LA, you're doing a whole lot, but before we go into your career and some of the things that you're doing right now, just tell us a little bit, what was it like actually leaving, because you're from Minnesota.
Right, yes,
so,
originally, yes.
Was
it
a
deep, dark secret.
No, so was it like a big transition to leave home and, to leave home to come out to a big city like Los Angeles, and what was it like?
Yeah, it was, I always knew all my life I was going to live in Los Angeles, always. I always wanted to live here. I always knew I would. And this winter before I left, there was a week where it was so cold, the governor canceled school because if children waited outside for the school bus, they could potentially die of hypothermia. That same week, the buses went on strike and my car broke down. And I was trying to figure out how to get to work, taking cabs or walking, but I couldn't walk because it was too cold. And I thought, you know what, I'm done. And I moved here that summer after. When I first moved here, I actually didn't know. I knew one person vaguely. He was a music producer who had produced a friend of mine when my friend had lived here in LA. And then I didn't have a job. I didn't really even have savings. I really just came out like an idiot with no plan. And within 3 months, I had my SAG card. I was working with this producer. I had many jobs and a home, which was nice, rather than sleeping on the couch, which I did at first. Yeah, everything fell into place for me. So although it was overwhelming, it was magical at the same time.
Now, what did your family think? Did they say, oh my God, she's going out there, she didn't plan this, or what? Because you're a young lady.
Yeah.
It's different from you then, I don't know. But.
No, definitely. My parents were kind of like, okay, well, let's see if you can just do this and be real safe then. Okay, no, they don't really sound like they don't have that heavy on accent. But no, they were, first of all, I've always been a little bit, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it, and I just had that fervor in me, like it was time, and I was like, I'm doing it. And my parents were like, are you sure? And I said, yes. And they said, oh, okay, because they could feel it in me. So at first, of course, they were a little bit concerned, but I found my way, and I continue to find my way, and they're very supportive and very lucky. And then my sister moved here 3 years ago. So now I have family here. She moved here and she works as a copywriter and she married a local. So now I actually have family structure here, which let me tell you is really nice.
Oh no, that's the best.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So I know about one of your CDs, and it's an incredible CD for its lovely daughter.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that, the recording of it, because you wrote this stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So,
This is our first CD.
This was my first CD. It came out in 2009, and actually about this time of year, 4-year anniversary. And I had known the producer for a while. He was the one person I knew, actually, when I moved here. And I had gone on a trip, and I was writing these love letters to an imaginary person, not to a real person, or to a person I wanted to meet in the future. And one night I was writing this one particular love letter, and suddenly a melody came to me, and I was like, oh, it's a song. And then all of a sudden I was writing all these songs, and I came home from the trip, and I played them for my friend, and he said, let's record them. And he put me on his independent label, and so that we shared publishing. And he co-wrote one of the songs, but I wrote all of the rest of them. And the rest is history. That was Poet's Lovely Daughter. Yeah.
And your voice, I know, is classically trained. You've done Broadway, some pop. So what are some of your influences?
Well, I mean, they're so varied.
Yeah.
When I grew up listening to classical and soul and jazz and R&B and Broadway. So like my dad was listening to like Nina Simone, Sarah Vaughan, but also people like Dusty Springfield.
Look at that.
And meanwhile, I was studying classical music and singing in musicals from the time I was little. But my mom was really into songwriters like Carole King, and she loved all of the 70s and 80s singer-songwriters. So I got to grow up with all of those varied influences. When I was younger, I loved Madonna.
And I still like
I still like Madonna. And I moved on to like also Lilith Fair. I loved a lot of the Lilith Fair artists. Maybe people don't know what Lilith Fair is these days.
I don't think I've ever heard.
It was in the 90s when I was a kid. They had this thing that was an all-women's music festival. Sarah McLachlan, Jewel, Indigo Girls. I mean, all these amazing different women artists of all different varieties.
Yeah.
And so I loved a lot of. I felt very empowered. I remember going to the first one. Well, I don't know if it was the first one, but early in the Lilith Fair series and seeing Jewel for the first time. And she told all of us, 1 year ago I was living in a van. And now I'm standing on stage playing for you because of my love for music. I want you guys to know if I can do this, you can do whatever your dreams are. And that just stuck with me forever. Yeah.
And I noticed that you continue to hone your skills. You studied out. I think even did you do some studying in New York or workshop?
I went to Manhattan School of Music has a summer voice festival. So I went last year to study with some opera teachers there. I did some opera and some Broadway, and I sang in an opera. And then I returned here. I actually work with a great teacher all the way down in Irvine. I drive every Sunday to Irvine.
For the love.
Because he's so great. And yeah, for the love. He's so wonderful. So.
Wow. Yeah, I know we have this in common. We both have one-man shows, but I think you are even working on your one-man show to make it a movie.
I mean,
screenplay.
We'll see what happens with it. I performed it like you did, and so many people said it should be a movie or things like that.
It's a great show.
It
was awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. So many people said that. I was like, okay, as if that's an easy task. So I've actually rewritten the screenplay a few times. I'm getting really good coverage on it, and I don't know if I'm going to produce it or actually have some other ideas for something to do that's a little bit new media.
Wow.
So it's like a combination of web series, blog, and music. It's unlike anything really that people have done before.
Yeah.
But I think it's the wave of the future. So it's not that I'm not looking for people to produce or finance the film, but that I have a couple of different options of how I want to pursue it, depending on who I partner with who I partner with.
And you also told me that you're working on a new CD.
Yep. Basically what happened is I won a family foundation grant of a few $1,000s to develop myself as a singer. And I thought that at this time, the best thing I can do is record a CD of my greatest hits, basically. So, I perform a lot at, there's a mall I sing at, and I do a lot of gigs around town of what I call classical pop crossover, like Andrea Bocelli, Josh Groban, and so pop and opera. And so I decided, a lot of times when I would do those things, people would be like, can I get a copy of you singing opera? And I didn't have it. So I thought, well, this way I'm going to do 4 arias, 2 or 3 Broadway tunes,
Awesome.
2 or 3 standards, and maybe 3 originals. Just piano and voice or guitar and voice. Simple and beautiful. But to highlight where I am at this point in my growth as an artist, as a singer. So I'm really excited about it, actually. Really excited.
Yeah. Now, let me just ask you, we are available, your CD is still available.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that we let everybody know where you can get.
You can go to iTunes.
Yes.
Or cdbaby.com/Erin Muir, ERINM as in Mary, UIR. But iTunes has it, Poet's Lovely Daughter, and a couple other single tracks I made over the last couple of years.
Awesome, and we'll just put it at the bottom so you can find it. Oh yeah, now I love animals, and I know you love animals because you rescued your baby. Tell us a little bit about him.
Okay, so Henry is my dog's son. That's what everyone in my family calls him. It's true. He's so cute. He's a little unknown because he's a rescue, but I think he's part Chihuahua, part Jack Russell.
Okay.
He's about 3 years old. He's about to turn 3. And he's about 15 pounds. He's got an underbite and floppy ears. So he looks kind of like, do you remember the RCA dog? Like way back in the day, there was a little dog who would listen to the radio and so Henry looks kind of like that, but with an underbite. which is hilarious. And he's just the sweetest. You know, when I got him, he was really afraid of everything. He was afraid even to go out through a door. He was afraid of all men. Not all men, but almost all men. And he would try to protect me from almost all men, like if we walked down the street, which
That's good.
was good, but also kind of like, you know, I didn't want him chasing after every dude on the street. But I worked with him, we meditate together, which I know sounds silly, but actually it really helps. We meditate, and now he feels safe and contained, and he's so friendly and he's really chill.
Let me ask you this. This is awesome, and I want to ask you, how did you decide you wanted to adopt a dog?
Well, here's what happened. A few years ago, this is the truth. It's kind of corny though.
It's not corny.
All right, so my sister was getting married, and I was thinking about my life and whether or not I want children and how much work children are and how beautiful they are. But and I had been single for a very long time at that point, and I was just kind of like, I have plenty of time, but you still have to start thinking about that sort of thing as a woman, and also really your biological clock does tick. And so I just thought I wanted to experience motherhood, but without I didn't really have the actual opportunity. So I thought, if I adopt a dog, I will know what it's like to take care of like a 2-year-old, and I will have something to ground me and to slow my life down. I was going too fast. I wanted to slow my life down and be home more. So having a dog, you know, I have to go home and walk him and take care of him and play with him. So that's why I wanted to root myself into something, a nurturing position.
And now you're happy.
Yeah, I am really happy.
I love it. Now, what would you tell another artist who may be afraid to leave home right now? You know, they have dreams too, but they may be afraid to take that step. What would you do to encourage them or tell them just stay at home?
I would never say stay at home. Never in a million years. Never. I mean, I'm sure there's an exception to that rule, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. What I would say is, you know, we're both believers, and I would say God puts desires and talents in your heart for a reason, and that reason is not for you to hide it.
That's right.
That reason is for you to follow that wherever it takes you. It may take you to LA, to New York, to, let's say you live in a small town and you go to the big city in your state. It may keep you in your hometown and you start a theater company there or whatever it is. But if you have a dream, you must follow it to the best of your ability and nurture it like a child for you and for everyone around you. You don't do anyone any favors keeping yourself small.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Erin. Oh, I just want to say thanks for kicking it with me.
Oh my God, I love kicking it with you, as always.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, I'd love to.